Am I okay to pop out my little portable and just check out that scratch? Got any holiday music, 45s, Christmas stuff?
I'm gonna burn through this stack and then we're gonna just go talk to somebody because there's clearly another section they're not letting me have access to.
There is a underground of tape traders and CD traders across the country who do this, try to make cool Christmas discs every year.
The worst music in the world is bad Christmas music.
I found the typical Christmas music grim. So I thought I'd start making a soundtrack to get myself through the holidays.
It's very far from the concept of jingle bells and have yourself a merry little Christmas.
I have bad Christmas karma. I did stuff I am ashamed of.
We used to talk about what happens in Hollis, Christmas in Hollis. I called Bill back sweating. I just wrote the best drama of my life.
Christmas, you can love it or hate it, but you can't really ignore it.
The music and the memories pierces that pathway. Of course it's powerful.
Who wants to acknowledge to people that you love Christmas music?
You have a lot of people say, I'm really not crazy. Does that happen a lot?
I never thought of the concept of other people that they would spend the kind of time and money and effort I was spending finding this music. But of course, it makes sense that there would be.
He's got an obsession, all right?
I'm Fat Daddy. I'm Santa Claus. Woo, woo, yeah.
My name is Mitchell Kezin. I'm the director of Jingle Bell Rocks, which is a feature-length music documentary about the subculture of underground alternative Christmas music. Year in, year out, we think, oh, there's maybe a handful of 30 songs that we hear. And I always wondered, why is that? Surely there's better, different songs out there. It takes a long time to amass a good collection. And I mean, I have a paltry collection compared to the Andy and Bill and other people featured in the film and who I know of. Generally speaking, there's a window of only 3 weeks to a month where I can even walk into a store and they'll have their Christmas stock out. Some will let you into the back room or the basement, or in fact, bathrooms have been the places where the Christmas songs have been stored, I've found. I go to record fairs, which are sort of giant week-long swap meets where sellers and dealers and buyers come. The film had its world premiere at a big festival in Amsterdam in November. I was lucky to meet a local Christmas collector there, so he took me around to all his favorite stores, and I found some incredible stuff. It was exciting being in Europe and hunting for stuff because it was so different. So that was quite exciting. I spent about $400 in a day just on weird Christmas stuff. This obsession, passion that I have came out of an absolute necessity, which was I was an art student and I was dead broke and I had no money to buy gifts for anyone, and I had just stumbled over some Hawaiian Christmas records of which I didn't know existed, Hawaiian Christmas music. So I had enough to put together one little 60-minute cassette. I look back on it now and it's kind of embarrassing what's on there, but every collector's first mix is like that, you know. It's like really lame songs that you would never dare put on a 25 years later. Well, pretty much my dream playlist are the 12 songs I explore in this movie. There's a few that slipped by that I couldn't either get access to the artists or for one reason or another couldn't be licensed or featured in the movie. But every year I never repeat the same song. That's part of the challenge of collecting every year. Once I use a song in the mix and I put it out into the world, then it's burned and it can't ever be referred to or used again. So every year it has to be a brand new 25 or 30 songs that comprise this Mitchell's Merry Mix is what mine's called. And I have some somewhere here to give out to some audience members. If they come and check out the film, I'll be giving away some Merry Mixes.
Material Christmas, material Christmas. No room for Jesus in material Christmas. This December 25th, I'm not giving any gifts. Material Christmas. Merry Christmas, here's a guitar. there, Santa Claus, underneath my Christmas tree. Leave a new girlfriend for material Christmas. Beautiful woman, zero personality, material Christmas. Play that pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Can we get some sleigh bells? At the Christmas party, everybody's dancing to those old melodies of material Christmas. Underneath the mistletoe, you and me, baby, let's go material Christmas.
The thing that has surprised me, though, is that this year, out of any year in the past 5 or more, there are so many great new, brand new, amazing indie alternative Christmas songs that all of us, not just myself, because there are other folks in this game that help me, and we each inform each other of what we think is really cool, and we share it through Twitter and elsewhere. And I'll share those handles with folks who are interested at the end of this, or they can email me and I can let them know. We were all blown away by how much great stuff there was this year. There are so many good records and singles out. It's the proliferation of places like, hubs like Bandcamp, where an artist can release a song fairly, none of it's cheap, but it's cheaper than having to press an actual 45,
Yeah.
And so you can do it independently and just allow people to download it digitally. I mean, I miss, some of them still do vinyl, but what's most important is the song. So whether it's a digital file or on a piece of vinyl, I don't care so much. I just want a good song, a great song. And there have been a number. I've had to really struggle to fit them all on this year's mix because there's just not enough space. Well, I started pitching this in earnest in 2008. The film took 8 years to make. Actually, no, earlier than 2005 was my very first meeting with a Canadian broadcaster. And here's what happened. Well, when you're pitching to broadcasters who are basically the folks at TV, the executives at TV networks who are interested in hearing pitches for new programming,
Right.
and you have to deliver what's called a one sheet. So it's like it's a 1 or 2 sided piece of 8.5 by 11 paper that has an image from your film. That's hopefully an image that makes reference or gives a sense of the visual look of the film you're imagining. 1 or 2 paragraphs about the concept in a synopsized form. Maybe a little bit about the different elements of who's in the crew. If they have, if your DOP is some star Canadian DOP, and then bio of myself as the filmmaker, director, producer. So there's that, but that doesn't tell them much. They want to meet you and they want to understand, why are you making this movie?
Yeah.
Why should I care? And why now? Like, what's important about it? So we're going back 12 years, almost 15 years. I can't believe it. Time for another one.
Yeah, it is.
So my first meeting was with an executive at the Bravo network, which is very different from the Bravo network in America. Bravo is no longer, but it was an arts channel. So they showed theater, dance, programming, short films, dramas, documentaries, you name it. It was a wonderful channel. We really miss it because they gave seed money to a lot of young filmmakers who were new, starting out. And my friend Charlotte was the exec producer at that channel. And I met with her alongside my producer here from Vancouver at the time. I brought with me a portable record player and about 12 records, including Stomp and Tom Connors, who was my favorite Canadian artist. And I thought, I'm going to have time to, so she's read the pitch and she's heard my producer Step talk about it. So she's keen to have a real meeting with us. We get there, it's a big fancy building. We're buzzed in. She comes back, she goes, "Oh man, it's crazy up here. Do you mind if we meet in the cafeteria?" I was like, I imagined waltzing into some big boardroom, and she's there and I can set up my record player and then we're going to talk for like half an hour about the movie and all the ideas I have and everything. No, we have to wait in the cafeteria, which is filled with people because it's like lunchtime. It's super loud and crazy and people everywhere. There's no privacy. I'm still pretty much, as I said to you the other day, in the Christmas closet, right? I've never met Charlotte before. My producer knows her well, which was the reason why she was so casual about everything. We literally talked for she grabbed a sandwich and a soup and we grabbed some drink, whatever it was, non-alcoholic, of course. We sit down. She's like, "Okay, Step, tell me a little about it." She didn't even ask me. She said, "I just want to hear a bit more." And then she, at the end of his little spiel, she turned to me and she said, I think she said, "Does that sound about right?" Or like how your producer just synopsized the movie you want to make. And I was like, "Yeah," but I said, I just like to understand, I'm not talking about Bing Crosby or all those chestnuts that we all love. And there's a reason why they're chestnuts. But I'm talking about other stuff. And I sort of reached down to pick up the records. And I guess she saw them. She's like, "No, I don't need all that." She's like, "It's okay. I get it. I get it." And she's like, that was the end of the pitch. And I was so depressed and dejected. I just felt completely dismissed by her.
Yeah.
And a week later, she phones up Steph and she's like, "I really like this idea. You guys got the money."
Wow.
So it was like $15,000 for just a development. It's called a development deal. So you get 15 grand to be able to shoot a bit of material, cut it together to give some sense of the movie you're going to make. And then at that point, she decides if she's going to commit all her dollars, which was at that time, I think 75,000,
Right.
which was a fraction of our total budget, which I can't reveal, but our budget was in the high hundreds.
Yeah, it was up there. Yeah.
It was up there. So that's just one example. But the other folks, what I did was that was the situation. They all had knee-jerk reactions. They didn't get it. So I decided, no, I look goofy walking around with a armload of records and a record player. I look like I'm some kind of weirdo. So I thought, I'm going to just put together just take my Merry Mix and hand them that and say, okay, once we get down to talking about budget and scope and everything, here, listen to this. These are the kind of songs I'm talking about. Several of them are mentioned in that little synopsis in your one sheet. And once you hear them, you'll understand that this is a real world that exists, and these are amazing songs that other folks need to hear. And this is why I want to make the movie, and I've been doing this for my whole life, and I've been collecting Christmas music for this long, and I'd love to play some for you, but you've got the CD, so let us know if that makes you understand the film better. And usually, most often they got it and they were excited. Once they heard the music and they got that, they were excited and they came on board. But that took, oh gosh, that took 4 years
Forever to
to
get
raise
it.
all the money.
Are you having a hard time getting into the Christmas spirit? Does the hum of drunken carolers just not do it for you anymore? Was your diorama of the nativity scene sat on by a fat black man on a MARTA bus just yesterday? Is that what's bothering you, booby? Then dance. Dance the Jingle Bell Dance. Dance with your King Wenceslas. Dance with Mary and Joseph and the little drummer boy. Just dance, dance. Did you have a rough day at the office party, Snookums? Did you get carjacked on your way to the lighting of the great tree? Did you have a traumatic experience with the pink pig as a child? Did the Lenox Mall Santa ask you to smell his finger? Is that what's troubling you, Snugglepuss? Then dance. Do the cha-cha-cha with Rudolph. Do the hokey pokey with the frosty snowman. Do the mosh pit with the three wise men. Dance, dance. Did your menorah fall over and catch your spouse on fire? Are you afraid of committing a Kwanzaa faux pas? Did your dreidel spin off the porch and hit the mailman in the eye, and now you're afraid he won't bring you any more Christmas cards? Is that what's bothering you, Muffinhead? Then dance. Disco on the snow-covered roof. Hula at the North Pole. Bump at the Sharper Image at the mall. Dance. Have you seen It's a Wonderful Life so many times that it's lost its appeal, and now you pray for George Bailey to drown in the river? Are you sick of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special where Burl Ives impersonates a snowman when you know he's really the CEO of Exxon? Did your tapes of the Bing Crosby Christmas special get demagnetized when your nephew put him in the blood centrifuge? Is that what's bothering you, Nutmeg Breath? Then dance. Hustle with the elves. Cuban slide with your boss. Mambo with your grandparents. Dance, dance. You say Jesus Christ Superstar was a false prophet with a bad hair weave. You say God is a woman, so Mary must have been a lesbian. You say the whole Savior thing smacks of patriarchy and spankings from your daddy's calloused right hand. Is that what's got you down, pumpkin patch? Then dance. Do the lambada with the Grinch. Do the merengue with Saint Nick. Do the bar with Old Man Potter. Just dance. You say somebody put a scratch on your Partridge Family Christmas album. You say your eggnog smells like a bad day at the sewage treatment plant. You say your mother was on her way to go shopping and drove into a sinkhole, and now you'll never get any of the presents you circled in the JCPenney catalog. Is that what's upsetting you, Bean Butt? Then dance. Dance like the Christmas star. Dance like the snowflake you are. Dance until the new year comes. Then go buy yourself a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger dump truck.
For the first year since the movie was released in 2014 that I'm not on the road with the film doing similar things like this, but live at a cinema, which always happens. Even though it's 7 years old, I'm invited all over America to show the movie. And last year, in fact, I was away over Christmas Day. I didn't come home till 26th of December.
Wow.
This year, because of COVID, I'm home for the whole month I've been able to spend it with Elaine, and that's been great. I thought, oh, there's going to be nothing to do. I'm going to have all this free time. I can listen to more Christmas music and it'll be lovely. I've been busier than any other year in the past 7 or 6, which is the result of the fact that there are way more virtual screenings like this one happening. There's like 35 different screenings in various film societies and film clubs and cities and towns across the States, which is wonderful. And so I've been doing a ton of press, and it's as if the movie's coming out just this year. It's amazing.
Wow.
So that's one good thing. And I'm hearing from new fans and old fans who have now made the film part of their own Christmas tradition and ritual, which is far more than any filmmaker could possibly ask for. In terms of what I love to do in the fall, especially, is as soon as Labor Day happens, I start thinking about my Merry Mix and the music I've managed to maybe find between February, early March until August,
right,
which this year hasn't been nearly as much because I haven't traveled at all. Every time I travel, anywhere if I'm invited to any city or town, there's always at least one record store and there's one dive bar. So I go to both. And I miss that a lot,
Yeah,
you know?
I bet.
And I also loved to travel through just, you know, the border, the Washington State border is just an hour away. And between here and Blaine, Washington, and Bellingham and Seattle, there's about 7 really great record stores. So usually I'll do like 2 trips in the fall around late October, early November, when I know they're going to have their Christmas records out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll rent a cheap motel room and I'll drive down and I'll stay over a weekend and I'll spend at least 4 hours in every store so I can really dig through.
Wow.
There's one shop that has a room about the size of my office, and it's crammed to the rafters with 45s. And they're not at all organized. They're just in piles. So it literally takes a whole 8 hour. From when they're open to when they close, I'm there digging, trying to find stuff.
Close your mouth, accept the sin. Might get something happening. This season has a secret joy that some are missing. We could all find it if we just once listen. Put your big bank book back in the drawer. Bring your mind and body back from the store. Get to know the people in your house. You might like them.
This was a monster score. For those that don't know, these are some of the most important pop records ever made by this band, and musicians know way more about them than fans do, but this is just a classic, originally composed Christmas song by Chris Tetrick from the Free Design. It's called Close Your Mouth, It's Christmas.
Put your big bank book back in the drawer. Bring your mind and body back from the store. Get to know the people in your house. You might like them.
The line that sticks in my mouth is, get to know the people in your house. You might like them. I just think it's so good. The Free Design was composed of my brother Chris and Bruce and myself when we started. We named ourselves the Village Fair, and we went down to the bitter end and coffee shops down in Greenwich Village and sang for free. That's how it started, really.
Christmas means a million magic things to those who tried.
I think we were just in a state of kind of wonder because it happened all so fast, and the first TV show we did was Johnny Carson, and just everything seemed to be happening really fast.
Know the people in your house.
To know the people in your house.
Get to know the people in your house.
That's a classic. Get to know the people in your house. You might like them.
Anti-war demonstrators protest U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War in mass marches, rallies, and demonstrations.
It was the Vietnam time, and Chris had to go in somewhere, somehow, so he fortunately got into he did a training down in Texas and then went right into the Air Force and was in the Air Force Band and played trumpet and arranged.
At the height of the Vietnam War, they were co-opted by the man to sing
Right,
for...
but they got
Wow.
the last laugh because they wrote this song that's basically saying, you know, this is a mess. Why don't we go back to the shepherds and wise men and figure out a way to all get along and move forward?
This is a contemporary look at Christmas in music and comment. That's the airmen of note in the background under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer Bob Bunting. They're the official United States Air Force Dance Orchestra, and singing with them, special guest stars, the Free Design.
Let's become like shepherds again. Let's make room for wise men. Let's take time to look for a star not forgotten.
It's so perfect. It's the ultimate contradiction. Air Force recruitment record, anti-war Christmas song, and like, you gotta think the Air Force just couldn't figure out that's what that was about.
The woman from the Free Design, whose name is escaping me right now. That's terrible. And I gave Andy Surzan the same record, but different. I gave her the full Stomp and Tom Connors LP, and I gave Andy a 45 because Andy loves 45s. Okay. So Andy was one of the collectors featured in the film. So both of them got Stomp and Tom Connors Christmas records. And Stomp and Tom Connors was a legendary folk country western singer here in Canada. He's from the East Coast. An amazing person, amazing patriot, an amazing legendary artist. And he was on board to be in the movie after a long slog trying to get him to be involved. And then he got sick and passed away of cancer. And we couldn't make it work, which was so sad because he has one of my top 3 Christmas songs. If I had to choose them, one would be his song called Down on Christmas. It's nothing like the title. It's a hilarious, upbeat, really fun little number about everything that goes wrong for this guy on Christmas morning. But it's really funny and charming and just amazing. So that's Down on Christmas by Stomp and Tom Connors. So that's the record I gave to Andy in that sequence. And I gave, I thought by now I'd remember her name, but it's escaping me. She's the sister of in the band The Free Design, and I'm so ashamed I can't remember her name right now. This is embarrassing, but it'll come to me.
I went strolling one bright morning in December. The first time this year we saw the snow. I stopped to watch a little boy catch snowflakes, and to one great big snowdrop he whispered low, "Please, Mr. Snowflake, tell your friends to stay for Christmas, because no one wants to see them melt away. Please, Mr. Snowflake, tell your friends to stay for Christmas. They will brighten up the world on Christmas Day. On your soft white snowy blanket we go sliding, me and all the kids on our street, and even dear old Santa Claus is happy, 'cause snow don't hurt his tiny reindeer's feet. So please, Mr. Snowflake, tell your friends to stay for Christmas, because no one wants to see them melt away. Please, Mr. Snowflake, tell your friends to stay for Christmas. They will brighten up the world on Christmas Day. been hearing all big people sing of Christmas, and they hope that every Christmas will be white. So all your friends are welcome, Mr. Snowflake, and please don't let them melt away tonight. Please, Mr. Snowflake, tell your friends to stay for Christmas, because no one wants to see them melt away. Please, Mr. Snowflake, tell your friends to stay for Christmas. They will brighten up the world on Christmas Day.
We were spending so much money traveling and staying in hotels and getting a crew, and so we burned through a lot of money, and we had to reshoot all of those near to Christmas time. So we had the craziest schedule where we'd be shooting November, December, because also some of the artists had, like Dr. Demento only records his show at Christmas time. I wasn't going to ask him to do a fake show in July just for the movie, right? I had to capture him actually recording the show for that year. So we did that. Lowe was only performing at Christmas time once. So that we did that one together. So we did Demento, Lowe, and Elvez one Christmas. Then we were in hiatus for 10 months. And then we did, the next three, the next Christmas season. And then we waited 10 months. And we shot the next three. Then, so it was like 4 years of filming, but it was only 4 years times 2 months. And in between there, we were raising money and editing, and I was chasing down Wayne Coyne, who took 4 years to finally not agree to be in the movie, but for me to pin him down and say, are you gonna do this? Because he expressed interest right away, but I couldn't get a commitment. I couldn't get an answer like, okay, when do we show up at your door with a crew and you'll answer questions?
Yeah, you'll sit down on the floor and talk to us.
That's right. That's funny. He said to me, the directive was from his DOP when I got there and we were setting up, and I said, okay, so because he lived, this is a funny detail, and I'm kind of straying off your question. I'll answer the rest of your question in a second. But it's interesting. So Wayne Coyne lives in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and he owns a whole block of homes, and it's in a pretty dicey neighborhood, but it's like surrounded by barbed wire, and all the homes are connected. So it's called the compound, and a few of the homes are for like visiting friends and musicians when they're collaborating on a project. One home was owned by his chief, George Salisbury, who's the one who does all the filming of all the videos and all the graphics. And then Wayne has his spaceship house, which is insane, and has all these trap doors and weird place. You get lost immediately. And then underneath all this is a huge space where all the props, all those bubbles that you see at their shows, the guns and everything, it's all under there. So I get there, and George escorts me to the rehearsing room where that interview was shot, and he said, so what do you want to do with visually with this? I said, oh, well, I said, I saw, and so like a year or two before the interview with Wayne, they had released this silver embryo Christmas ornament. And in the video that they made, the advertising video that they made for the ornament that was for sale on their merch site, Wayne did a little video, and he had these crazy dark, like Seuss-like bright neon trees behind him in the video. It was straight out of Whoville.
Yeah.
And Dr. Grinch. And I was like, well, I'd love it if we could get those trees and we could put those behind him. And George was like, and George had like two assistants with him, sort of lurking in the wings. And he just pointed to them. He said, go get those trees. So within like 15 minutes, they brought up all these trees. They brought a few. I said, I want some. He told me they had some spinning lights. And I said, bring those up. And so they decorated the whole set for me. And then he said, oh, by the way, Wayne likes to sit down on the floor these days. So you got to do the interview that way. I said, okay, well, yeah, sure, that's fine. Whatever Wayne wants, I'm happy to oblige, because I'm so thrilled I'm here with him.
studio apartment in a dull part of Seattle. A strand of light suspended by a thumbtack in the drywall. The restaurants are closed, so are the record shops, the banks and bars and cartel drugs, and so's the half-price bookstore. But the movies are always open, and I always have to open.
A repertory movie house for life is not so wonderful. For 15 soggy patrons who have no better place to be, not to mention me. I'm working for a holiday wage. My family is 2 time zones away. I'm supposed to call them. My vodka and slow is melting. The alcohol isn't helping. Sometimes you have to work on Christmas. Sometimes you have to work on Christmas. Sometimes you gotta work on Christmas. I doubt I'll miss this. There's an artificial tree blinking in the lobby, sitting on the coffee table, yeah. Strangers and spare changers stand in line like poor relations at some kind of sad reunion, and I'm selling their tickets. They're coming out of the weather for Christmas alone together. Sometimes you have to work on Christmas. Sometimes you have to work on Christmas. Sometimes you gotta work on Christmas. I doubt I'll miss this next year. Sometimes you have to work on Christmas. Sometimes you have to work on Christmas. Sometimes you gotta work on Christmas. I doubt I'll miss this at all. Sometimes you gotta work on Christmas. Sometimes you gotta work on Christmas. Sometimes you gotta work on Christmas.
So we're a little bit lost, but we're in Baltimore and we're searching for John Waters' house.
Hi, come on in. This is the electric chair from Female Trouble, but you really can't tell. It looks exactly like one. It's built to scale, and it's decorated. We decorate it every year. You can't even tell it's an electric chair, really. Christmas, you can love it or hate it, but you can't really ignore it. I like Christmas, and I've used Christmas in my work. The Christmas tree falling over on my grandmother, I exaggerated and turned into something in Female Trouble that was completely different. I make my own Christmas cards every year, so I like it. I always sort of try to take what the traditional thing was and put a little spin on it. When I was young, we did terrible stuff because Divine would almost go to prison every year. He and Cookie sawed down a tree that was the sheriff's in Provincetown that was fully decorated on their lawn and took it home. So we broke into cars and stole Christmas presents. I have bad Christmas karma. I did stuff I am ashamed about. I do hang out with this one friend of mine who has a hot rod, and we used to drive through alleys with video cameras on the front.
Christmas time is coming.
He would put all the trees in the alley and then set them on fire, and then we'd run through them in the car and film it. It was really fun. That's after Christmas, when people throw them in the alley. They really burn. They're a pyromaniac's dream.
But what we did was, I can't reveal the cost, but it was way, way cheaper than, if we paid normal going rates for each song. There's 32 songs in the film. Some are highlighted, some are just a bit in the background. It would have cost easily over $500,000 just for the music. We did something called, what, as a filmmaker, you should know about this, and you maybe already do. We did something what's called a Fair Nations deal, where every artist, we had a set amount of money, and we said we're going to split this across all the artists, and this is done in documentary film a lot. When you have a music project of this kind of scope, and everyone agrees to the same flat fee because they believe in the project and they can see the worthiness of it, and they can see that they don't want to ask for more money than the other. They're not allowed to. They agree to it or they don't.
Yeah.
And it's a 10% of what their normal fee would be, if not less, maybe 5%. And just one other side, Run DMC, through a favor because of Bill Adler's involvement in the movie, they gave us the video for nothing, which was really nice, because that would have cost 50 grand easily for anyone else.
Once upon a Christmas
The malls are all filled with last-minute Christmas shoppers when a giant green lizard emerges from the water. The crowds start to panic when they hear all the clatter of Godzilla trampling another shopping plaza. But looking to the north, yes, who should appear but good old Santa Claus with his flying reindeer.
Santa Claus vs. Godzilla, the battle of the year. Godzilla has those great big claws, Santa has his tiny reindeer.
Santa and his reindeer head straight towards the giant. The bells on Santa's sleigh jingle jangle with defiance. Godzilla swats at Santa like he's some kind of mosquito. Santa yells to Blitzen, time to load the torpedo! The monster leaves a wake of mass devastation. Donner, Cupid, Vixen, attack formation!
Santa Claus vs. Godzilla, the battle of the year. Godzilla has those great big claws, Santa has his tiny reindeer.
Godzilla throws a right hook at poor Father Christmas. He misses him by inches, but boy was it vicious. Santa's on the ropes now, it looks as if he's beaten. Come on Santa, get up, we don't want you eaten. The lizard starts to charge, he's got Santa in his sights.
Oh no, not on this, oh yes tonight. Santa Claus vs. Godzilla, the battle of the year. Godzilla has those great big claws, Santa has his tiny reindeer.
And now here we are at the moment of truth. Is this the end of Santa? Oh, what will we do? Out there in the distance, a lone church bell rings, prompting the reindeer for some Yuletide caroling. The music melts Godzilla's heart, and like the Grinch, he changes. He picks up Santa Claus, and he tries to explain, yeah.
Santa Claus, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get out of hand. The commercialization of Christmas must have driven me completely mad. It's not about making money, it's not about dollars and cents. It's all about baby Jesus and spending time with family and friends.
So I hope you can forgive me for my behavior was just appalling. Especially since I almost gave you quite a severe mauling. Santa knew Godzilla was telling him the truth, so he said with a chuckle, here's what we're gonna do. There's the room on the nice list and some time till Christmas Day. So let's clean up this awful mess and will help me on my way. My reindeer are all worn out from a big epic battle, so mine carrying the sleigh, and for you I'll stop the saddle. Oh! Santa Claus vs. Godzilla, the epic battle of the year. Godzilla's gonna save Christmas Day, filling in for Santa's reindeer. Santa Claus vs. Godzilla, the epic battle of the year. Godzilla's gonna save Christmas Day, filling in for Santa's reindeer.
Didn't used to do this, but once I met Andy Surzan and he told me his process, which was, you saw him in the movie, he takes out his little portable record player, he sets it up and he plays the first few seconds or a minute of the record.
Yeah.
I wasted so much money just buying things on hope. It's like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. It's $5 and I got 20 of these and I'm like, that's $100. Oh man. Okay, I'll take a chance. I wasted a lot of money that way. So as soon as I realized there were portable record players, his is the Newmark. That's the one I also bought, but you can buy cheaper ones. So I now, everywhere I go, I keep that with me. So I'll go digging for records. I'll have my big stack that I'll just, as soon as I see something, I'll just grab it. I'll put it in a stack. And then when I'm finished going through the whole lot of Christmas, then I'll go to that stack and I'll whittle that down to about half, just by looking at not just who produced it, but the song titles is really important. Is it all covers of Christmas songs? That's not so interesting to me anymore. It used to be, but at this point, 30 years hence, it's not really that interesting. So I'll probably give that one back. If there's some interesting song titles and some original songs, I'll definitely keep it. And then I'll take them out. I'll look at the condition. And I'll play a little. I can tell within 10 seconds if I'm going to really love it or not, or if it's worth buying.
Wow.
That's for LPs. So anyone can afford. If they got the money to release an LP, they have the money to hire a decent graphic artist. So the cover is kind of meaningless unless it's super whacked and wild and weird. Then I'll probably gravitate to it. But it's more about the song titles are the original, and also where was the record produced? If it's produced anywhere in the South of America, like Mississippi, Louisiana, anywhere there, I'll buy it because and also the date. If it's before 1980, before mid 70s even. If it's from the 50s, 60s, or early 70s, I'll buy it for sure. Because that's where the best stuff was done and recorded that I don't know about, or I don't own yet. With singles, it's even more fun because I've started now after this long. I know certain labels just by heart that other songs I've bought in the past on that label have been great. So chances are this one's going to be. But again, it's about looking at the song title. If it's an interesting original song title, chances are, it's not a cover of Jingle Bells or a Christmas song, which sometimes you get on the flip side. They have an original on one side, they have a cover on the other, which can be interesting. So it's like, oh wow, definitely buy that. So if the song title is interesting, and then I'll look at the label and I'll look and see where was it produced, where is this being issued from. Sometimes there's scant info, but there's always a phone number and an address to tell you where it's come from. And sometimes the less info, the more intriguing it is. And at that point, that's when I'll listen to it and just know. It's very seldom these days that I'll buy something sight unseen without listening to it.
somewhere. Maybe I'll get a car. Maybe I'll drive so far I'll lose track. Maybe I'll bounce right back. Maybe I'll sleep real late. Maybe I'll gain some weight. Maybe I'll clear my junk. Maybe I'll just get drunk on stolen wine. Maybe I'll be just fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I won't let sorrow bring me way down. I'll be fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I won't let sorrow bring me way down. Hey, maybe I'll learn to sew. Maybe I'll just lie low. Maybe I'll hit the bars. Maybe I'll count the stars until dawn. Maybe I will go on. Maybe I'll settle down. Maybe I'll just leave town. Maybe I'll have some fun. Maybe I'll meet someone and mine. Maybe I'll be just fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I won't let sorrow bring me way down. I'll be fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I won't let sorrow bring me way down. I'll be just fine.
There's thousands and thousands of new songs just this season that were released on through Bandcamp. I rely on my cohorts who are nothing to do with COVID or the pandemic. My cohorts in this game, my fellow hardcore collector friends, of which there are many, and there's like 6 of them who are so deeply into this. And again, I'll share all this with anyone who wants to email me. They do a lot of this hard grafts, all this work for me. I just rely on them to tell me what is interesting, and I'll go to their website and I'll look at what they've posted about and talked about, and I know it's going to be great because I know them and I know their tastes. And that's where a lot of the songs from this year's Merry Mix have come from. Otherwise, it's just hard labor staying up until the middle of the night listening to songs on Bandcamp and just Googling Xmas the year or whatever. You know, it saddens me that we're going so digital and that there aren't, you know, but it's also this year it's the reality. No one could possibly, would be foolish to go into a studio with all kinds of people and invite potential of sickness, and so I get it. Next year, will it be the same? I hope not. I hope some people will start releasing on vinyl. I mean, it's just so much nicer to have a piece of vinyl, but you know, I'm an old fart, so I'm biased, and I'm really attached to having that item that is in my collection that I can covet and look at and go, oh man, I want to hear that again. Just taking it out of the sleeve and looking at the cover and putting it on, it's so nice, you know, instead of just hitting play on iTunes. It's like, I sound like an old man. I know.
No. It's great.
I hope I answered your question. I didn't quite answer it very well, but
no, it's great.
That's kind of a tough one because there's so many bad. It's like, I don't know, 1 in 10, 1 in 20, 1 in 30 that are great versus not so good, because a lot of people, they rush through and they just record something because they hope it's going to land on Bandcamp and get some traction. It's a Christmas song, but it's a cover and it's just not even interesting at all.
Yes, I have a very, very, very little secret. It's a kind of a thing that people should know about because the snow will be falling and the cats will be bawling. Yeah, they're gonna be knocking themselves out. You know the reason why? I'll tell you why. Yeah, Santa Claus is smoking reefers. You didn't know that, did you? Santa Claus is smoking tea. He's so high in the sky, loaded all the time. He stays up there loaded for a year. He comes on down. He's got the stuff for the kiddies, yes, sir. And the kiddies are hip nowadays. They ain't like the kiddies of yesterday. They ain't like your father and my father. Yeah. The kids are jiving. They're hip, 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 hiving all the time. Jolly fellow, he's fat and mellow, but he ain't the cat that you think it is, yeah. Oh, Santa Claus is lighting up today. Yes, yes, yes. Santa Claus, oh, Chris Kingle, yes, he's got a reefer 100 feet long, smokes it from end to end. He'll smoke it if he's your friend. He's so high and mellow, a great big, 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 big fat fellow. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, look at old Lubinsky dancing in there, yeah? He's knocking himself right out. He's setting music back 20 years, Yes, and the cats are jiving, hap, hap, hiving. Oh, Santa, oh, Santa, oh, Santa, Santa Claus. Yes, the moral of this little story is, what is the moral? The moral is, does your reefer taste different lately?
Like I love Burl Ives' Holly Jolly Christmas. That's one of my favorites. I love the Henry Mancini Christmas record because that was one of the albums that was in the tiny, maybe 10 or 12 records total that were in my parents' collection. I love anything by the Living Strings for the same reason. Living Strings alone, Living Strings with voices, Living Strings with guitar. Like they had like 5 or 6 different variations of Christmas albums. So I love all those. But my guilty pleasure is this is I don't admit this very often, so you got me, but I'm going to answer because you're here and you're asking. Is Paul McCartney's "Wonderful Christmas Time," which is a song that I know so many people hate, but here's why. I don't know, maybe 12. I guess I was 13. I just turned 13. I was allowed to go down. I grew up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, which is a province over from where I live now. And I was allowed to go downtown to Christmas shop for the first time on my own. I took the bus down there, or maybe my mom dropped me off. I can't remember. I think she dropped me off and I was going to take a bus home. It was like a big deal. And there's a mall that's not, there's no, it's just pedestrian traffic only. And it's called 8th Avenue Mall. So I'm down there, it's Christmas time. The mall is decorated with, it's just beautiful. It's all decorated up. It's nighttime. It's like a Thursday or a Wednesday night. It's early evening, like 7-ish. So it's still dark, but it's not 12 midnight. So there aren't like the riffraff around. I'm walking around and I'm like the Hudson's Bay store was there. So I was shopping for my father and my mom and my sister and my 2 brothers. And at some point I came out of one of the stores in the main mall and there was a little pizza shop and they had a speaker sitting outside and it was playing that song. So this is right when that song came out. It was Paul McCartney and Wings when he was with me. So it was a new song at that time. So that's why it was being played on the radio. And that song came on, and I could hear it. I was like blocks away from this store, this pizza shop. And I heard this and I was like, it was new and fresh and interesting. And I was like, so I started walking towards it and getting excited and getting a little, at this point in time, I was starting to pay attention to Christmas music in the same way that the Nat King Cole song had affected me. I was wanting that experience again. I wanted to feel that deeply about another another song again. And this was like, maybe this is a chance for that to happen. So I was running, and I got closer. The song got louder and louder, and I just stood outside the shop. I didn't even buy a pizza slice. I just stood there and listened to the whole song, and I thought it was really cool. And then I went shopping, took the bus home, and I had no idea who it was. I didn't know it was Paul McCartney. I was 13 years old.
Huh.
And I was like, how can I hear that? I want to know where I can get that song. Like, I wanted to buy it. Like, I wanted to find it again. So I started really paying attention to the radio, and sure enough, the station I loved at the time played it, and they mentioned who it was, and I was like, Paul McCartney. I was like, oh, from the Beatles. Yeah, okay. So I wrote it down, and I went to the local record shop that I always shopped at, and they had the 45, and I bought it, and that's been the soft spot for me ever since.
The party's on, spirits up, we're here tonight, that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The moon is right, the spirits up, we're here tonight, and that's enough.
Every year I think about coming back. Seems like so much more time goes by than that. Hard to believe it's all real time. I'm sorry I can't be there with everyone on Christmas to help bring in wood for the fire and carry a stack of warm plates to the table where the goose is served. I got in damn trouble again. It's like every year I get in trouble at Christmas time. It gets to where I expected. The rain and the darkness of November leaves me feeling lost and hopeless. So I went to a bar by myself to try and forget that I had nothing and no one. And I got in a fight with a big loud jock. He left me counting stars on the floor. Every damn year it's the same. I say I'll come home once I got a little bit more to show for myself than just getting in trouble. We were counting stars on the ski slopes, wearing all our clothes against winter's snap, scampering uphill to steal a run on the Mohawk toboggan. And later on, we watched the hockey game over beer and cigarettes. And finally, we lay down to sleep in the small beds of our childhood, counting stars through the wavy glass of the old storm windows on the big, long, crazy Mohawk toboggan.
It was just last summer down in Old Wise Road. Someone passed me a pipe and said it was a load. I took a big haul and my head hit the road. When I woke up, I was in the arms of the po-po. It's Christmas in Burnside, and I wish I were home, saying hi to Mom but I can't even phone. So if you're ever down that way, you see a young man or a lady, don't just pass them by. They're somebody's baby. Don't just walk on by. Don't judge so soon. It could be you or yours under that moon. It's Christmas in Burnside, and I wish I were home, saying hi to mom and dad, but I can't even phone. It's Christmas in Burnside, and I wish I were home, saying I love you, mom and dad, but I can't even phone. It's Christmas in Burnside, and I'm so alone. I love you, mom and dad, but I can't even phone. I love you, mom and dad. Christmas in Burnside. Come Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, black Israel. Oh come thou Lord of might, who to thy tribes from Sinai's height in ancient times didst give the law in cloud and majesty and awe. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come thou rod of Jesse free, thine own from Satan's tyranny, from depths of hell thy people save, and give them victory over the grave. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. how days spring come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come, thou Key of David, come, and open wide our heavenly home. Make safe the way that leads on high, and close the path to misery. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, black Israel.
Waiting for the wind to blow, waiting for that Christmas snow. Where did the year go? Oh, sitting on that big old tree, feels just like it used to be. Silver and gold, these days don't last long. Another year is gone, another year gone. Oh, playing in the snow again, thinking about my grown-up friends, already gone. Oh, waiting for the wind to blow, waiting for that Christmas snow. Where did the year go? These days don't last long. Another year is gone, another year gone.
Oh, cool.
Ho, ho, ho!
Santa? What the hell? It's a Mitchell from Santa. Wow. The Alamo Draft House in Winchester wants to screen my movie. Wednesday, December 17th at 7 p.m. That's so awesome. We got to celebrate. Don Patterson's Holiday Soul. The hippest, coolest jazz recording ever made, as far as Christmas is concerned. Well, next to Miles Davis and Bob Duro's Blue Xmas, of course. This is an awesome, awesome recording. And we got to get a drink. Something of a little Canadian tradition, little Canadian whiskey, and eggnog. Oh man, I'm so excited by this. This is awesome. I just want to thank Andy and Steve and all of you for coming and spending your precious dollars on taking a chance on my movie. I hope you guys really love it. I know there's a lot of films to choose from this time of year. I'm grateful that you came tonight. Cheers, everybody.